Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps SRE DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and Neuralink. Now, how do we, apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So please reach out to us, and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you. Okay, so first question is, what is DevOps and why do we need it and why we are learning? So in order to understand the DevOps, we need to go a little bit in back in the history. Okay, and one important thing, this is a sort of discussion, so please participate in this. Share all of your ideas, experience, and everything. So it's important for all of you. So yeah, we have to go into back in the history, and then we'll need to have understanding of what we used to do in 1990s. So at that time, if you remember, we were having the desktop based servers. That is where that we used to run applications, right? And we used to set up any software. Let's say when we want to set up a software, so getting a hardware, then operating system, then drivers, then application dependencies, then applications. It should take approx 1 day of time to set up one server or something. And how we were consuming? Console based. Console means just like a Windows right now, it's a console based application. So Photoshop, console based. Any other software also you are using through console based. How this software is being delivered to you? So we know that you used to deliver this software in series, correct? All of you must have used this series. So
It's like a movie CD, right?
series, yeah, yeah. So we used to have a software in series. So if I ask Microsoft, hey, what architecture you are following and what is a release cycle? So they will say, okay, we'll release once in a year, right? They will have a release once in a year, not every day, not every week, not every month, once in a year. And because the release is once in a year, you need to have some architecture of the software also. So architecture of the software, something like how the software has been developed, designed. So that was a monolithic that time. Monolithic means one package will have
Yes.
all the features and stuff like that. And then we'll say, okay, we have architecture monolithic, release once in a year, series based delivery, console based applications. Sorry. So what is the software development model they had? So they had a waterfall model. So this is not something great which we, most of us, if you're not from the uh, you know college, I mean latest generation, you can say new generation, then you must be aware of it. What do you think, all of you?
I'm
Hello.
not born at those time, 90s. I just born
Hmm.
over there.
Yeah. So this was something which we were
I have
doing.
right here. I have a question, right? What is console consumption means exactly? That's part is a little not clear.
Console based means
Can you give us an
you
example?
are your laptop is a console based. You have a console over there, and then you can access the laptop, and then you browser based, then mobile based. These are the ways to consume the application. So, for example, if you have installed MS Office in your laptop, that's a console based application. But Facebook.com is a browser based. Or maybe if you're
Okay.
using Instagram and now, uh,
So,
so
in a
mobile
simply
based.
simply we can say like without internet or whatever application runs in our computer and mobile, that's called console based, correct?
Console based, yeah. Not mobile. Mobile is having different. Mobile is,
Okay.
you can say, device based or something. Yeah.
Thank you.
Then this is the waterfall model. Look at this here. So waterfall model, we earlier we used to spend 2 to 3 months for requirement, then few months for design, then few months for implementation, then verification and maintenance. If you remember that here in this model, we had a separate team. Remember, requirement will be done by someone who will be done, who will be doing this work.
Line of business.
Business analyst.
Uh, Architect, something you can call it, right?
Yeah.
Then design will be done. Implementation will be done by the coder, programmers, development team. Verification will be done by testing team, and maintenance done will be done by operations team. Correct? Huh? So there were so many teams earlier, and each of these teams were having dedicated work, separate work. Still, we call it, hey, you are an architect, you are a designer, you are a programmer, you are a testing team, you are operations team. Still, we are using that word actually. So this is coming from waterfall model. Anyone is from the old school before waterfall model? What was the model which was popular? Anyone from the old school? So network model, hierarchical model. You know what? In those models, we had a software development used to take 5 years. Yes. At that time, we were not developing a software. I mean, software companies were very less. DARPA. Have you heard about the DARPA? All of you?
No.
In in USA, there's a many agencies we have. They develop, they innovate basically the latest generations of work. So at that time, they were developing a software. It used to take 5 years, 6 years, or something like that. At least waterfall model reduced that 5 years to 1 year with the help of, I mean, Microsoft started doing the waterfall model and all that. So that is something waterfall model, nothing great. One thing you have to notice here, why they chose from the network model and hierarchical model to waterfall model. Earlier, the software development used to take 5 years, now 1 year with the help of waterfall model, or maybe 6 months. So why? What was the reason? So software organizations wanted to focus on the quality release, and then also they want to have an immediate release, 5 years to 1 year. In the same time, they wanted to have cost reduction in development and runtime. These were the major reasons for migrating from the old model to new model. Are you comfortable, all of you, so far?
Yes.
And then, guys, finally we got the internet. Yeah, internet also we got it because of them only. DARPA and other institute work in the 1970s, and then we got the internet in 1990s or 80s or something like that. So when we got the internet, the popularity of the console-based applications reduced actually, because you remember that I started Hotmail.com, which was hosted by USA, Indian only, but then we got this one, what do you say, Yahoo, we got Google, Rediff in India. If you are in India, then Rediff you might have heard about it. So all these
Internet
applications,
Explorer.
yeah, internet. So all these applications which they launched it, you couldn't access through browser, and internet has to be there. So browser based applications, we got it. So what has happened? Mind it here, there is some certain change actually. So earlier, if you look at it, when you, let's say, I love Age of Empire. I don't know how many of you are having that idea. It's from Microsoft. I love that. I got a addiction basically. So this Age of Empire game was introduced long back. I mean, I think 20 years before actually. Still I'm playing. So at that time, let's say you install some application in your desktop. So that application will consume CPU, RAM, and storage from your desktop, correct? But because we got the internet-based applications, and you have to run these applications, and you are not paying for that applications. Have you paid for Yahoo, Google, or Orkut? Anyone who's coming from the Orkut era? Anyone have used the Orkut in our group?
Yeah,
No?
yeah, Rajesh, I have used.
I
Yes,
have
yes.
also used as, I wasted lots of initial year on Orkut, and suddenly one day it got closed.
Yeah,
So,
Yes.
yeah, so these applications were running in the data centers, and we were not paying for it. So, what software organizations like Yahoo and other organizations like VMware and all, they said, hey, we can't run that all this internet based application data center with a virtual server, I mean physical server. It's very costly. So they migrated to virtual server. Virtual server is virtual machine. I think one sessions virtual box which we had it, that was a virtual machine. AWS will have it, that's a virtual machines. Azure, you can create a virtual machine. Google Cloud, you can create a virtual machines. So 20 years before that, all this era started, where we were not running application at the desktop, but we started running a virtual server. Why? Cost reduction and speed also. Let's say you set up a desktop one day, virtual machines 5 minutes of work. Okay, so setup time was very less. Now, did you guys get us some practice to create a VM in your laptop? All of you, have you
I
created?
did. I did.
Wonderful.
I
Yeah,
downloaded the Linux server once and then I tried to connect with a PuTTY
good, good.
and
So whatever you did in the local, actually AWS is doing at the large scale. Same thing, and accessible through website. That's all. Okay, so how we were consuming application? Browser based. Then how we were delivering that application? Downloaded. And here, logic is very simple, guys. Let's say Yahoo has some issues, or let's say Gmail is having issues, or Orkut is having some issues. So if they say, hey, people, millions of people, wait for 6 months to do the patching work. So will you use that application? Tell me honestly. Will you use that?
the 6 month for patching.
no, no,
No, of course,
No,
it's
no.
common sense. Common sense, you'll not use it. You'll say, hey, it's a junk application. Leave it. We'll go for the competitions, other competitors. So what organizations like software organization, remember that software organization decided to reduce the release cycle from 1 year to 2 weeks. So they said, hey, no, 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 we'll have to reduce it because our users will not wait for it. There is a bugs, there is a issues in the software. There's a issue software in Orkut, there's issues in other things. So there's a bug. Let's reduce the release cycle. So now you look at this here. So whatever you used to do, planning, development, testing, operations in 1 year earlier, now you have to do in 2 weeks. Don't think like that you have to do the same amount of work. Amount of work also reduced it as per the durations. But now planning, development, testing, and operations you have to do in 2 weeks. Okay. So then organizations like scientists in the software industry, they said, hey, okay, what architecture will call it this one? So they started calling this service oriented architecture. Why? Why they call it SOA? Service oriented architecture. Because if you remember that, in order to run application for which is support browser, you have to have a web server, correct? No? Then app server and then database server, and all these things you can run separately also. Correct? No? Web server. Can you name it some of the example of web server?
HTTP,
Web server
Tomcat,
means
Apache.
Apache,
Apache, Apache,
Apache,
Nginx, IS. If you're a Windows guys, IS. These are the web server. Okay, so at that time they said, okay, fine. This is the kind of characteristics which we have, and these are the kind of things we'll do. Do you have any idea this model which we opted in 2001 words? What they call it? Where we release the 2 weeks in 2 weeks, we have a SOA based architecture and all stuff like what we call it. Which model we call it?
Agile.
Agile model. Agile model, Scrum model, Kanban model. These are the models which we have. So yeah, Agile model. Okay. So this is the story. Now, any questions so far? All of you? Any questions so far, guys?
No, at this point.
Yeah. Now
No,
let's
sir.
start with 2020's latest one. Anyone? Are we having anyone from the college? I mean, just after the college, any fresher in this batch? No? Okay. So this is the agile model, okay? So what has happened, understand this. Uh, in this is a waterfall model, look at it a little bit. In this model, we had how many teams we had? Hear me out little carefully.
Five.
Five team. But what has happened in agile model, we got the only two teams. Which team? One we call it
Uh,
Scrum team, and one is called Ops team. Remember, in Agile we got two team. One is Scrum team, and second team is Ops team. So what has happened? Development, architect, testing team. What has happened? So they've got merged together and become a Scrum team actually, Agile team, Scrum, Agile, whatever you want to call it. So you see that team here. I'm not saying dev team, QA team. I'm not saying, because every day these all people will meet and then as a team, one team, and then work on it. Okay, so that is something which is agile. You can study a little bit more about agile. This is a one image. If you see, they have a list of features, and these features they will work. This team will work, and for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and they will review that every day, and then give it to the client. And this is a scrum master which you have. Okay, so this is something which we have. Now the question we should ask is, so why they migrated from waterfall to agile? So migrated for the same reason, guys. Over the period of time, they again wanted to improve the quality of the software. They wanted to reduce the release cycle. They wanted to reduce the cost reduction in development runtime. So here they did it. This model helped them. Now we have got this era of device. I mean, you know that, right? So we have everything. I mean, look at, not don't think in terms of software engineers. Think about your mother, your father, your sisters and brothers. Look at that. They are not engineers. So how they are consuming the software applications? So they have a mobile, they have a different apps, and they consume it. That is how they consume it. Some of them, laptop is like only for the IT people, or most of the time, who's working in IT or IT related stuff. Correct? So this is your consumption story. Now you know that very well. No need to explain it. And in this world, let's say we have 8 billions of people on this planet Earth. So we all are connected actually. How?
Internet.
Huh.
Through internet.
Yeah.
Through
So
internet.
you remember that earlier when I used to install my Age of Empire, I was the owner of it. Microsoft sold it to me, though I had a copy, this one pirated copy. But let's say Microsoft sold it to me, and I become a owner of that Age of Empire or MS Office or Windows operating system. Can you say you are the owner of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, MS Office or live online Office 360, or Google, all the services? Are the owner of it? No. That is running somewhere, and we all are using the same Instagram, same Facebook, same Instagram, same Facebook, same LinkedIn, same Twitter, same HDFC Bank, same ICICI Bank, same yatra.com, make my trip, same amazon.com, same flipkart.com. We all are connected with the same software. Correct, na? All of you. So
Yes,
what is the
Rajesh.
problem? So earlier, you know what? I'll tell you in a simple way. Earlier, if I had a Age of Empire some bugs, then I will I will shout at Microsoft and saying that, hey, what rubbish software you have developed. Fix it as soon as possible. And Microsoft will see how many people have reached out to them. Out of million copies sold, let's say 1,000 people have been got that issues. So Microsoft will say, hey, only 1,000 people out of million people. Okay, no problem. I'll fix it, but not now. After 3 months or 6 months. That means the release cycle will be 6 months minimum. Security issues maybe 3 months or something. But I'll just ask you simple thing. Let's say you are trying to reach out to office and you just open your Ola app, and if it is not responding, what you will do? Tell me honestly. If your
We will
Ola
check
app is
other app. Yeah, we'll check
hmm,
other app.
Uber, Uber app.
immediately,
Uber. Hmm.
immediately within a second, you will decide, hey, let's change the vendor itself. Let's change the app only. We have Uber. Let's say Swiggy is not responding, Zomato. So here the trend has been changed. So now for the software organization also, holding the customer is a challenge actually. So what they have to do, because these all are applications, right? These all are softwares running somewhere in a data center. You will have some challenges, some bugs, right? But the problem is because of the market is so fast and consumers are so demanding, you have to fix the bugs within an hour actually. Within an hour, you have to roll back within a second actually. Are you understanding the challenge in terms of software? Just imagine that you are a software company. You are running the software company, and the moment you have more downtime, you will be wiped out from the market altogether. Right now, adding a customer is a huge cost to the company, and here you are allowing your customer to go to somewhere else because you have a downtime in your applications. So the challenge for the software organization is they want again quality of the software. They need to redefine the quality. They need to reduce again the cost of software development testing, and then they want to have a speed also. Same reason again. Always is the same reason. In future also, after 10 years, maybe something else will come. We will have a same reason. How can we improve the quality of the software?
how can we serve the software more faster, okay, and cost reduction in development runtime. How can we do that? So challenges are one version of software, everyone is connected together, and expectations are 24 by 7 up and running without no downtime. And now this responsibility to all of you, you are a software engineers now, how to make it. Then people started talking about containers. Hey, let's do one thing. Let's not run application on virtual servers. Let's run in a container. I'll teach you containers. Will help you to set up time 1 second. See that how we are reducing the setup time. That means if you want to set up a whole infrastructure, it can be done in 1 second. You want to roll back 1 second. You want to roll out the new changes 1 second. How? Containers. You need to know how containers works. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yes.
So if you want to survive in this latest IT industry, you need to run your application in 1 second with the help of containers. And that is where you need to learn Docker, Docker Compose, Kubernetes, Helm, and Rancher, and many tools actually. So some of the tools is a part of the DevOps, some of the tools is a part of SRE. I'll teach you. How people are consuming application apps, you know that they download it from the store, app store. The release cycles, it can be 1 hour. So now look at this here. In 1 hour, you have to do the planning, you have to do the coding, and you have to do the testing. I know that some of you will think, how can that be possible? Something which we were doing in 1 year, then 2 weeks, then now you're asking, means software organization, your manager is asking, I want in 1 hour, because application cannot be having these bugs more than 1 hour, otherwise our customers will run away from us. They will, if you're a Flipkart, they will go to Amazon. If you're Amazon, they will go to Flipkart. How can that be possible? So then scientists say, let's do one thing. Let's not follow SOA. Let's migrate to microservices. If you follow the architecture of the software itself will be based on the microservices architecture, then you can do the release cycle in 1 hour. Containers, you have to use it for running applications. Now, anyone would like to help me here? What is a microservices architecture? All of you.
Kubernetes.
Kubernetes is a platform for running containers. But what is a microservices architecture?
Microservices architecture is like a little piece of software. It's communicate with each other, and then it's
Many,
loosely coupled.
Yep.
so many
Tell.
services in one platform. That is Kubernetes.
Okay, so let's put it up in this. This is again huge topic, but we'll have to define. Let's say this is a software. How many features you have in this? 100 features. How many teams are working on this? 100 team. What is the release cycle? 1 month. What to do? And this is, let's say it's monolithic or SOA. So hundreds of features you have here. Divide into smaller feature. Divide into smaller 100 features. So now you tell me, this is the one feature. Earlier 1 million lines of code we had it. Now we have a 5,000 lines of code. Only 5,000 lines of code. Maybe 1,000 lines of code. How many functions you have? 4. CRUD. Create, read, update, delete. 4 function. 4 function. 4 function. So tell me one thing. How many people needed to manage this development activity and testing app things? Only few thousand lines of code, only 4 function. How many people are needed for this? Tell me. 1 or max 2. Correct? Here also 1 or max 2. So this person, they have to do the planning also, development also, testing also, operations also, everything. You have to do, this guy have to do everything. And how much time it's taking to the build? 2 minutes. Earlier 20 minutes, 2 minutes now. How much time taking to test? 5 minutes. Operations, few seconds. Kubernetes and all. And within 20 to 30 minutes or 1 hour, you can do the release. Because you don't modify, don't test everything. You are testing part of it. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello? I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible.
So that is something microservices. Earlier we had a services in SOA, we had services. Now we have microservices. So you don't have to change entire software. The problem where we have, you have to change. This each microservices can be developed in different languages. Python, Java, Go, whatever you like it, you develop, no problem. You know Python, no need to learn Java. You know C++, no need to learn Python. Develop the software and they will all connect with some REST APIs and conceptually and all through the Docker, Kubernetes and all kind of things, and you can manage it. So guys, you look at this here, 1 person or 2 person, you have to do everything. Remember that. And that is where that concept has come for DevOps. Okay. So DevOps, which will help us to do what? So if you remember that in Agile, let's discuss about the waterfall first. In waterfall model, the release cycle used to be 1 year, architecture monolithic, and you had a 5 team. Okay, architecture team, plan team, development team, testing team, operations team, 4 team, let's say. But in Agile, what has happened? In Agile, we got the only 2 teams. One is a Agile team and one is an operations team. And in a development, all people club together and become a 1 team actually. 1 team, one objective, one mindset, one culture, unique tool sets, single tool sets, and you can do the things faster and better. So why DevOps has come? Because they cannot continue Agile because Agile says 2 weeks. But we want 1 second, 1 hour. So we change that for getting a 1 second and 1 hour. We change the architecture and the new model, new mindset, new culture, what we said, named with a DevOps. That means here all the operations and development will become a 1 team now, and that you can call it a DevOps team. Are you understanding all of you?
Yes.
In market or on reality, there is a different form of DevOps is being practiced. Let me put it in this way. Every individual and every organization also, they have defined their own way of DevOps. They say, hey, I'm doing the build, I'm a DevOps engineer. Hey, I'm doing operations work, I'm a DevOps engineer. So don't get confused. DevOps means it's a team, it's not an individual. DevOps means it's a team, it's not an individual. DevOps is not a tool, it's a concept, it's a mindset, it's a culture. It's a culture in which everyone will work on everything. It's a 1 team. One team will do development also, testing also, operations also, planning also. There's no multiple team. So that's important to understand. Okay. So all of you are understanding that what is a DevOps?
Yes.
Yes.
So guys, in order to implement the DevOps, you need to go through many trainings like container training, microservices training, CI/CD training, and many things actually. So you have to find out the answer for it. What is container? What is microservices here? What is DevOps? What is CI/CD? Continuous integration and continuous delivery. How the SRE is coming here? What is a DevSecOps and all this thing? Okay, so that is important. So look at this here. There's a person which is in development team, and now when I say development team, remember that when I say development team, please consider architect, development, and testing. All team together is called development team. So development team not only those who write a code. No, development team means all of your agile team. You can say simply agile and scrum team, but many people have no idea about the agile. So development team and operations team. Club it together. Earlier they were working in a different mindset, different tool sets, different culture, different process, different practices. Development team will say, I need a code to be live. Operations team say, hey, I don't want the new code to be live every time. I want the stability. So DevOps has come and merged these two teams together. So earlier they were a part of different team, and now they are one team actually. Now they work together with a single mindset, right tools, and roadmap for change. So this is DevOps. Okay. So again, same challenges which I would like to remind you. For the software organization, one version of software, everyone is connected together 24 by 7 up and running with a no downtime. What do you want? Today also, if you ask organizations, they will ask you the same thing. They want quality release, immediate release, and cost reduction. Challenges what we had is so many teams, dev team, QA team, test team, managers, lead, this, that, and all, and which was creating this objective challenges. I mean, this multiple team, multiple mindsets was bringing the challenges in to address this quality release, immediate release, and cost reduction. So, what to do? We have a multiple teams, we have a multiple tools, we have a multiple culture and mindset, we have a multiple processes, we have a multiple practices, we have lots of phases. What we need to do, combine it, integrate it, and that is what every organization wants to do that. So multiple team into one, multiple tools, one specifications, multiple phases, apply for only one team, and integrate everything together. And the moment you integrate, that will become a DevOps. So see that here. Look at this. This is a traditional
Uh,
word of,
Rajesh sir, I have a question. What
yeah.
exactly integrate refers to, like it's combining all things is called integrate, or it's a different scenario?
Okay, I'll put it in a very one simple way. Right now we have how many people in this team? Let me
Maybe 13.
13 just a second. And 13 out of 13 team, let's say 5 of you are from a development team, 5 of you from QA team, and 5 of you is from operations team. So then the moment if I say, hey, you are a dev, then what you will think? Tell me what you will think. Your job is to
Development, implementation.
this simple. See, and let's say someone I'm saying, hey, Suez, you are from testing team. What is your responsibility?
To do
Testing
all the
development.
software testing, complete all the test cycles.
Test, yeah. And let's say Solomon, I'll say you are from operations team. So what you will do?
When the cost of the operations, everything.
Managing the operations, right?
Yeah.
So this is the kind
Yeah.
mindset. Just see, suddenly you got a mindset. The moment I say you're a dev team, you'll say I will code only. You say I said QA team, you say I test only. The moment I said you are an operation, you say I'll manage only SRE. But you know what? What is needed here in this era? We don't need development, we don't need testing, we don't need operations. We need someone who can do everything. So let me ask you simple there. Ram, you are doing coding from last 10 years. And suddenly if I ask you, hey, Ram, can you do the development, testing and operations also? Then you'll get frustrated on the management saying, how dare you ask me all this? I've been coding from last 10 years and you are asking me to do the testing and operation, which I have never worked on it and I don't know what to do. Getting points?
Yeah, in the corporate world in the US, it's the same thing. They
Yeah,
wants to do everything.
yeah. So the question is, how can you get the right mindset, right culture? How can we get it? So Mahesh and Kapil, now I'll say, hey, both of you are a part of the DevOps team, and DevOps team will do everything. That means you are a team, you are a part of same team, and you guys will do the development also. You guys will do the planning also, testing also, operations also. So do you think you will fight again for this? You will say, yeah, this is my work. This I have to do that. Correct now? So your mindset is set accordingly. And their culture within a team, you got to do that like, okay, let's help each other. I know a little bit of more ops team. I know a little bit of dev team. Let's help together. Let's work together. Let's not fight with it. We are a one team. We have to complete this task. Tell me, so which model which will be more faster, better, and give you the better quality? The one which where the team were isolated or the team which is a single one? Tell me. What do you think?
Uh,
Single team. Yeah.
Single team, because here
Equal
you are not
single
fighting.
thing. Yeah.
Here you are not having mindset saying that, hey, I this is not my work. So actually, you know what?
Yes, yes.
This is this is a DevOps actually. DevOps is a, every time you read that any places, what is DevOps? DevOps is a cultural changes. Cultural changes means what? Change the culture of the team, which earlier because of waterfall model, it got, they started thinking they have to do only development or testing or operations. Now they have to do everything. Okay, they have to do everything. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello.
Yes.
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 So when you are learning the DevOps, see, I don't know what each other companies are following the process of DevOps. There are lots of wrong practices is being performed by organizations because of some reason. Okay, but as part of the DevOps, you should be having right mindset and you should be ready for doing everything. The moment you say, hey, I will only do the testing, that means you are in the old era. Or you say, I will only do the development, then you are in the old era. You will say, I will only work in the operations, you are in the old world. So you have to work with the team. Maybe you know something more, something less, that's okay. But you should have a right mindset, right culture in your team. So everyone should everyone should think we are a one team, no matter what you guys are doing, and we have to help each other. We have to become a everything. So that is the right changes. So if you see that here, from the waterfall model to agile model, and agile model to DevOps approach, it's an approach. What happened? We have a development needs to be more agile, operation needs to be more agile as well, and they need to work together. So yeah, many people have named the DevOps team doing something else. It's not good. DevOps team will represent everyone theoretically and conceptually. Okay, I'll just ignore some of the things. So this is the right statement. For the DevOps, please hard code and change your mindset. I have no idea what kind of responsibility you may get it, but your mindset should be, I am a DevOps only and only if I am coding for the function of the software. Are you? I am coding for the testing of the function of the software. Are you? I am coding for infrastructure using Terraform, Ansible. I'll teach you. CI means what is that? CI means Jenkins. I'll teach you. CD, delivery tools like Ansible, Argo CD. I'll teach you. Integration, operations, SRE for building and running the application. So every time you see that, you are contributing towards a certain in the coding standard, and different tools for coding, different programming language, scripting language, and so on. Make sense? All of you?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So change your mindset. Don't worry, these all things are easy to learn. It's not very difficult, and get going. So here, if you see that, many people say, hey, merge the dev and operations together and then you'll become a DevOps. Wrong. This is not right definition of DevOps. DevOps is not a tool. Many people say, hey, learn DevOps tool. These all are bad practices has been established, because DevOps is become so popular. Many vendors started selling, okay, we are selling a software for DevOps. DevOps is not a tool actually. It's not only automation. Automation is good, but it's not only automation. DevOps is not a only access, right? You have access to everything, so you can call yourself DevOps. And DevOps is not a team apart from the dev team, QA team, and operations team. DevOps itself is a team for everything. So DevOps is a way how well we communicate with each other, how well we understand each other, how well we are integrated for the same objective and building the relationship. Okay, so DevOps is not a new technology or a product. It's an approach or culture of software development. So that software development seeks stability and performance same time. Means you want the stable environment, same time quality environment, new features keep adding, that environment we wanted, and the same time speed of the delivery of the software should be required, because you know that Ola versus Uber, that is something. Are you understanding, all of you?
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.